Live from Lakewood Country Club from Seoul, Korea, it's the 42nd KLPGA Championship Round 2 action. This is Mike Kim alongside with Eddie Bay. Thank you so much for joining us today as we bring you exciting Korean ladies professional golf tournament action from Lakewood Country Club. And what a beautiful day we have. We had a lot of rain this morning, but the rain has stopped and the ladies are taking dead aim at the softer greens. Yesterday, the ladies had all sorts of problems with the incredibly hard and fast greens. But today, we're seeing some low scores. We've already seen 266, 6 under par, but look out. Sunwoo Bae, the leader, has also gone low with only 7 holes, 5 under par. But let's take a look at the weather condition that we have at Lakewood Country Club.
Oh, yes, we couldn't ask for better conditions after such hard and fast and dry conditions yesterday. I think the morning rains has softened up the course enough that a lot of low scores are going to be popping up.
And look at some of the notable players at Lan Hong, the veteran, 500 par, and Chae Young Kim, too, 7 under. Overnight leader has gone 2 shots off at already 7 under, and Hyun Park at 3 under. Another veteran, Gel Park, 3 over.
We're starting to look at a packed leaderboard. I think the under par scores are going to reflect the softer conditions in the afternoon. And I think the players that played in the morning, unfortunately, were under some very, very poor weather conditions that led to these over par scores.
Some of the players teeing off early in the morning had to contend with the heavy rain at times. The rain collecting on the green, ground crew had to come out and clean off with the squeegees. But a lot of credit to the ground crew coming in and cleaning it up for the ladies to continue on with the play. So we've not had any stoppage, but let's look at some of the highlights in the early round. On the 18th hole, and this is Hyun, the overnight leader, the rookie from Jeju Island.
Nice little left to right downhill putt.
5 under, looking to go 6 under, and she has.
And rolls it dead center.
So she finished 2 under par, and that had to put a lot of smile on her face. At 7 under par, currently 3 shots off the lead. This is Sunghyun Park. And finally, she was able to get a birdie, but very disappointing 5 over par in the second round and finish at 6 over par for the tournament. This is Minji Park on the 7th hole, par 5. A very short third shot. And she holed out for an eagle. So just like that, she has gone 2 under par for the tournament. At the 10th hole, par 4. And Lan Hong, the veteran, with the fairway wood.
Another player taking advantage of the soft conditions, hitting a high shot with a fairway metal, stopping it just short of the pin.
Well, she has never been known to be a long hitter, but boy, she has really shown her power to be able to manage those metal woods off the fairway. And this is Chae Young Kim, 2 overnight leader on a par 5 11th hole with her third shot. And excellent distance control with her shot and was able to gain another birdie. And that put her at the time 6 under par, currently 7 under par for the tournament. 3 shots off the leader, Sunwoo Bae. And let's go to the 7th hole, and this is our leader, Eddie.
And again, Soft conditions.
And she almost holed out with the third shot for an eagle, but tapped in for a birdie to go double digit at 10 under par. And she is your leader at 10 under par for this tournament.
On fire.
Jung Kim too with a long birdie putt. And this is how she went to 7 under for the tournament.
It's always good to have those back-to-back birdies. Real confidence boost.
Jung Kim too trying to join. Sonu Bae and Lan Hong said, well, if you can do that, I can do that too.
Indeed.
And Sonu Bae, 5 under after 7 holes, 10 under par, and Da Bin Ho taking full advantage of softer conditions this morning at 6 under par. But Jung Kim too and the overnight leader Setting Hyun at 7 under par. Now look at here, Hyun Ju Ryu, 6 under par, 66. She's another player who's really exciting, long off the tee. And Hyodin Park and Hee Na, 3 under. After shooting 1 under par today and finishing early. Now this is our leader.
Hitting from the right side rough. I don't think she has a very, very difficult lie here. I expect another birdie opportunity.
Looking to the right side, and it stays out of the bunker, but we'll definitely have a very delicate chip shot there for her. But she's one of the better players that we know with a solid game, all-around solid game, so shouldn't have any issues with that. Let's take a look at the 13th hole par 4. It's Jung Kim too playing ahead of Sonu Bae and Lan Hong alongside with Jung Kim too. And definitely Jung Kim at least 15 yards ahead of Lan Hong.
With these wet conditions, it looks like she made clean contact, and look at that, it's a very good result.
Well, I'm sure that Lan Hong would have loved to have gotten that ball a little closer, but
Indeed. On a long par 4, though, to have a 25-footer for birdie is always a good thing.
well, with the wet condition, the players definitely using their second shot with the fairway metal or hybrid clubs.
And I'm pretty sure she's taking dead aim at this pin.
As this is the second most difficult hole based on yesterday, and the ball's running away. But look at here. This might go in the hole. Oh, just runs by. But with her putting touch today that she has, she is always a threat to hole out.
Indeed. Looks like she was a little disappointed with that result, but the actual outcome was not bad at all.
Hee Jung Lim, 3 under. Now, keep an eye on her because not only does she have a beautiful swing, but she can really get on track and get hot.
Oh, indeed. She's one of those streak players. Those birdies can come in big numbers.
All right, back to the 8th hole, par 4.
Relatively simple chip, up the hill, a little right to left.
Sonu Bae. And look how fast that ball runs by the hole, Eddie.
Indeed, indeed. She's going to have a fast downhill 3-footer.
All right, Hana Jang, who started with the KLPGA Tour, went on the LPGA, has made a comeback to local tour and has done very nicely. Currently 1 under. That looks like a bit of a punch shot.
Indeed, indeed. I hope she didn't hurt her wrist on that shot there. Looked like she might have hit it a little heavy.
A little difficult to gauge exactly what happened to her hand. She was letting that hand go as soon as she hit the ball. Jung Kim, second shot. She needs to get going here.
Playing so long in the U.S., I believe it might be the getting reacclimated to the Korean course conditions.
Yes, this is the different type of grass that we have in the States. This is zoysia grass. Still hasn't fully matured.
Indeed.
As the zoysia grass really doesn't come up and really mature until late May. This is Jung Kim too, and this is one of the things that I told you, that even with that long distance, she is always a threat to hole out, and good opportunity for her there.
Oh, indeed. She's really improved her putting over the past few years. All her statistics have gone down. Birdie conversions and short putt conversions.
All right, back on the 8th hole with our leader, Sunwoo Bae, at 10 under, and this is for par.
A little bit downhill, right to left. Looks like she's taking dead aim. Oh, straight in the middle.
Had a beautiful putt. I really have to say that her putting stroke is really in groove. It's difficult to imagine how a player able to get that putting stroke going even after being off the tournament conditions for so long.
Oh, indeed.
And this is Lan Hong. Runs it by about 3.5, 4 feet, as she will have that for par to remain at 5 under for the tournament. And this is Hana Jang, who had to let her hand go after hitting her second shot off the fairway. Now,
Indeed. Hopefully it doesn't affect her putting stroke.
it looks like there's a big break there, Eddie.
Big right to left breaker. Up the hill to the second tier. And it looks like a little firm.
And that's going to be a tester for Hana Jang. Out of the bunker for Hyun Park on a par 3 12th hole, and almost holed out, but still have some work left for her par.
Indeed. I think that's one of the more difficult shots after a big rain is going to be the bunker shot. The consistency of the sand changes, becomes very heavy.
So when you have wet conditions in the bunker, what are some of the things you have to watch out for, Eddie?
Well, I think generally speaking, the ball comes out a little hotter when the sand is wet, and you don't catch as much spin. And the most difficult thing, I think, is the easier for the balls to plug in wet sand than it is for dry.
Well, Jung Kim too, another difficult par 4 14th hole. It's one of the longest ones that we have seen here at Lakewood Country Club. 13th, 14th hole, posing a lot of difficulty for the ladies. Need to get a good tee shot.
Very powerful swing there from Jeongeun Kim. Looks like pushed a little bit right. That rough shouldn't present too much of a problem considering she has so much club head speed.
So she will have a lengthy second shot at Lan Hong. Now, when you're wearing these type of rain gears, how does that affect your swing, especially for the professional players of their caliber?
Oh, indeed. You can't say that it doesn't have an effect. It will shorten your swing. So it's really important to try to maintain good tempo.
All right, Lan Hong, a good shot, good tee shot. Not long. Never been known for a long off the tee, but keeping that ball in the short grass to give herself a chance.
Indeed. She's a player you don't find in the rough very often.
All right, Hee Jung Lim. This is for birdie on the 10th. Up the hill.
Indeed, this is another speed control putt. Got to get it there.
Players have to be confused with the speed that they knew from yesterday when it was just lightning fast, but today with the rain. But as the rain stops, green's starting to dry out now. The players need to make those adjustments. And Hyun, par putt, and a good one to save a par there on the 12th after coming out of the greenside bunker to remain at 3 under for the tournament.
Yes, that was indeed a great up and down from the bunker.
Jung Kim off the green, elected to go with a putter.
And that was a great choice. What a putt.
Well, you knew you can't keep the caliber of Jung Kim down too long. Has gone 1 under par for the tournament. And with her strength, and particularly off the tee, We got a couple pars, par fives that can definitely work to her advantage.
Oh, indeed. She's a long hitter. She will definitely take advantage of those par fives.
All right, Jojo Kim on the 11th hole, second shot. Needs to drop that ball as close to the green as possible.
Oh, that looked a little heavy to me. I think the wet conditions and the ball above her feet might have played a part in that. Didn't look like she got very good clean contact there.
That's not the type of swing that we would expect out of Jojo. One of the most beautiful rhythmic swing that we'll see on the latest tour, Jojo Kim.
That's right.
Out of John. Got to be careful here. And this is exactly what we were talking about. Might have been a little bit too tentative with that putt.
I think so. I think that's exactly what happened. A little bit downhill, just not wanting the ball to really run past the hole. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, she may have been worried about the ball blowing by the hole, and unfortunately, she walks away with a bogey. Minji Park for her second shot. And again, we're seeing these ladies not really getting a good swing on the ball.
Oh, indeed. The wet conditions are definitely playing a part. It's very easy to hit your long clubs. The fairway metal's a little bit heavy in these wet conditions.
Some players have the umbrella up. Looks like it is raining a little bit, and rain's starting to get a little bit harder. And this particular hole, Lan Hong, along with Hee Kim too, on the 14th hole. And what are some of the things that they'll be talking with the caddy right now?
Well, if you notice, they're holding the pin sheet along with the scorecard and the yardage book. So they're definitely looking at where the pin is and where to land the ball. Especially from a lie like this into the right rough, the landing zone is going to be very, very critical.
All right, Lan Hong will go first from the fairway. Again, she has a fairway wood in her hand. Second shot, 5 under par for the tournament. Needs to get this ball on the green.
You know, again, that was much better contact than a few of the other players, but I can't not help think that was a little heavy as well.
And again, she's going back and looking at it to see where she may have made the mistake, but this is Jung Kim too, trying to make a decision exactly which club to hit. And today she's hit every green except one. And look at that putting average, 1.77, less than 2. And wow.
That's strong, very strong.
So she has got to give herself a chance to go anywhere near the green. She's in danger of holding out. Now, again, she's taken an enormous amount of time making a decision exactly what kind of swing she wants to put on this second shot at the 14th hole.
Oh, indeed. Just like the other players, it's very easy when you have an uneven, even from the middle of the fairway, but especially in the rough, when your stance is very, very uneven like that, it's very easy to hit behind the ball.
That is probably one of the unforced error right there for Jung Kim too. So she's got some work to cut out to save a par at Sonu Bay after getting a par. One of the few rarities in this hole going for Sonu Bay. On the 9th, had a great tee shot there.
Indeed. When she immediately reaches down to pick up the tee, you know it's in the middle of the fairway.
And we know that Sonu Bay can go low, and low Jeongeun Lee 6 did on this golf course. She holds the course record 10 under par 62, recorded a couple years ago. So Sonu Bay looking very good so far at 5 under par after 8th hole.
Oh, indeed. You can't help but think that it is lurking in the back of her mind somewhere. That course record is certainly in reach.
All right, par 3, 12th hole. We have a little bit of a delay here, and Hyodin Kim playing along with Minji Park and Jeongeun Kim. The wind's starting to kick up just a little bit, especially around the green, and this is Hyodin Kim. She'll be teeing off first on this short par 3 12th hole. The par 3 12th hole didn't give away too many birdie putts yesterday. Only had about 16.
Indeed, that's a very unusual for a short par 3. But I don't think that seeing this type of hole on television really gives you an appreciation for how hilly this is. The elevation difference between tee and green.
This is Hyodin Kim, currently 1 over par on a par 3 12th hole. And a powerful swing. Oh, and a good result too. And we'll have a good opportunity for birdie to go level par for the tournament. All right, Hee Jung Lim with the tee shot on the 11th par 5. Needs to take advantage of this hole.
She's holding her finish. She must like it.
And this hole will play much longer than the day from yesterday. I really don't need to work on her swing. Take a look at her swing here, Eddie.
Very, very strong setup there. Excellent takeaway. No changes in her spine angle. Full turn. Great X factor. Loads up and just releases the club purely into the back of the ball.
And look how steady keeps her head there behind the ball.
Right, gets her left side out of the way and just lets the club release.
And just firing the right side, and as a result, tee shots right down the middle. So now Jeongeun Kim 2, after a very disappointing second shot on the long par 4 up the hill, this will be her third shot.
Yeah, she's going to want to try to get this one close, which she does.
And look at here. Everything is working for Jeongeun Kim too. When your second shot is not working, no problem. Her third shot will take care of it, and she has that for a par to remain a 7 under par for the tournament.
One of those players that's really improved her short game over the years. Indeed.
And Hyun Park. And this will be her par. A long par 4 on the 13th hole. Another treacherous par 4 waiting for her on the 14th, but she needs a par right here, as she's done a good job.
Yeah, straight in the middle of the cup. That's what you like to see.
I think she needs a couple birdies to put a little smile back on her face.
It certainly looks like the rain might be picking up again here in the early afternoon.
All right, this is Hyun Park, 8 over par. And may have hold it out, as she has.
And a bright light at the end of a very difficult day.
Well, Hyun Park, never been known to really get down on herself, but after that dismal start, has been able to get a chip-in birdie. One of the few birdies that we've seen on this hole. This is Jojo Kim. Third shot, and she might even get really close, and it just sleeps by, but a nice shot. And this is the kind of result that we would expect out of Jojo Kim.
That's right.
Lan Hong, a little chip, kind of running away from her a little bit.
I tend to think that might have been a bad lie. That is a relatively simple chip. To run it by that far and that far right is uncharacteristic of her.
All right, Lan Hong Needs that for a par. That is Hana Jung with her second shot. Currently even par. Oh,
Looks like she caught that one very clean. Lost a little bit to the right, but she didn't short side herself there. I think she should have a relatively straightforward third shot.
All right, this is our leader from the middle of the fairway with her second shot on the 9th hole. Sunwoo Bae, 10 under par. Overnight leader and current leader, sole positions. And might be going a little left.
Indeed, maybe. But still on the green, so have a good look at birdie from about 40 feet.
Sunwoo had a solid career on the Korean Ladies Tour, moved on to KLPGA, won a couple times in a hurry, and now playing in the KLPGA Championship. And this is Hee Jung Lim with her second shot. Again, ever so steady with her swing, keeping that second shot in the fairway for her third shot, 3 under par for the tournament. Lan Hong, this one for par.
And another solid putting stroke.
Never a doubt for veteran Lan Hong. Love to see her continue her winning form. And Jeongeun Kim playing along with Hana Jung, 2 long hitters. And what happened here, Eddie?
Well, I think she just tried to swing out of her shoes and try to get this ball as close to the green as possible. Might found a little trouble there on the left-hand side. She's a long hitter, no doubt, but 240 meters for a second shot, even for her, that's a bit of a stretch.
All right. Jeongeun Kim, 2.
And another birdie.
You want to talk about a par that was as good as a birdie or better.
Ah, yes.
You're looking at it right there. After that dismal second shot on the 14th hole, walks away with a par to remain at 7 under. This is Minji Park for birdie. And that always seems to be kind of a tentative putt going up the hill, but still a bit of that fast green. The memory of blowing it by the hole yesterday must be bothering her.
And a nice wrap up, nice tap in par for her. I think you're right. I think the green speed from yesterday and making the transition today is really difficult for some of these players.
So Lan Hong.
A rare miss to the right.
Yeah, a rare miss to the right.
Judging from her reaction, you would think it'd be up in the trees, but it's actually just a few meters off the right side, so not a bad miss.
All right, Lan Hong playing with Jeongeun Kim, 2. Jeongeun currently 3 shots off the leader, Sunwoo Bae. And Jeongeun Kim, 2 has to feel good about saving that par, Eddie.
Oh, absolutely. It's always a confidence booster to know you can miss shots from the fairway, but still get it up and down for par. Powerful swing.
Had a good tee shot to put herself in a good position. And again, KLPGA Championship being played without any gallery. It seems a bit awkward. Some of the players mentioning that even after a birdie, there was no clapping. So some of the players were saying that they were clapping themselves.
To try to pump each other up. I think that's...
Congratulating each other. And Jeongeun Kim.
Finally birdies.
First birdie of the day at the 12th hole on the par 3. Have not given up too many birdies yesterday, but today, with the softer condition, Players are going at the pin. Jojo Kim almost holed out with her third shot on the par 5 here at 11th hole. Needs to get something going here.
A little downhill. I don't expect this to be anywhere but dead center. She got it.
All right. I think she is much delighted to get that first birdie of the day to go 1 under par.
Yes, absolutely. I think so.
All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard again. Sonu Bae currently at 10 under par, and Da Bin Ho finishing with 6 under par today in early round at 66. But Jung Kim too right behind her, and Hyun Yu turning in another 66, 6 under par today after shooting 2 over par. But Min Cho a bit disappointing with the even par today in a rainy condition at 4 under par. But look out, Hee Jung Lim is right behind him. And we'll be back after these messages. All right, back to Lakewood Country Club for the second round action of the 42nd KLPGA Championship. Now we have the leader, Sonu Bae, sizing up the birdie putt, a long birdie putt on the 9th hole.
Looks like she's putting from the left side of the green. This is going to be long, uphill, and big right to left.
Wind's starting to kick up a little bit here at Lakewood Country Club. And this is for birdie to go 11 under.
And again, speed is critical. What a great touch that was.
And a great par.
It really does look like she's firing in all cylinders. Her putting stroke, her iron play, tee shots. It must be her day.
All right, Jojo Kim.
Coming off Yes, coming off that birdie, I'm pretty sure she's going to be taking dead aim at this pin.
All right, par 3, 12th hole. Hyo-ju had an illustrious amateur career, playing for the Korean national team as an amateur. And now currently playing on the LPGA Tour, but here on the 12th hole.
She's staring it down. She must like it.
Oh, and a beautiful shot, keeping
great
that
shot.
ball below the hole. And another excellent opportunity for birdie to go back-to-back. Let's go to the 15th hole, par 5. And we have seen Jung Kim, too, with the tee shot in the middle of the fairway. Lan Hong pushing that tee shot to the right out of the rough. And that's where we pick up Lan Hong with her second shot.
Simply a layup from here.
Oh, and she has pulled it way left. Will she have any problem?
I think she's going to be fine from there. But again, these wet conditions hitting the ball from the rough, it tends to open and close the club face prematurely. I think that's something that they've really got to be careful with.
And Jung Kim, too, playing alongside with Lan Hong. 3 shots off the lead.
Most likely a layup here as well.
Now,
Not taking any chances there.
Now again, I'm not sure whether I'm mistaken or not, but she is not doing too well with that metalwood because she also has some issues on the 14th as well. This is Hana Jung. Is that a beautiful putt?
Oh.
Just slides by. Hana missing the birdie putt on the 11th hole, par 5. She'll have that for a par. Now this is Minji Park on the 12th hole, playing alongside with Jojo Kim. And she's selected to go with 8-iron.
She's taking a long look at this one as well. She must like it. Wow.
Oh, and she has gone inside of Jojo Kim.
2 good looks at birdies on this hole.
All right, Jung Kim. And this is her par putt here.
Seemed to be a little uncharacteristic of her to take that long of a look standing over the ball there. Maybe she a little uncertainty.
And she's not finished yet for a bogey putt here at the 11th hole, par 5. Lan Hong for a third shot, pin up front of the green. And not able to hold that third shot.
Yes, it seems the lie she must have had caused a little bit of a flyer. Couldn't get it to stop on the green.
And that pin sitting just on top of that ridge, very difficult to hold that ball, especially coming out of the rough. Oh, and just slides by to the right side, and Hee Jung have to be disappointed with that par. Looking dejectedly. All right, Jung Kim 2, overnight leader, currently at 7 under. And this is the 15th hole. And what happened there, Eddie?
Just a little short. I think I can't. A lot of turf grass came up on that shot, so maybe she hit it a little bit heavy.
That might have been one of the spots where the rain may have collected a little bit more than other places.
Very possible. Very, very possible.
And this is for birdie, Hyo-ju. Selected to go with a 9-iron in this par 3. And she has done that, snuck it in.
Back-to-back birdies.
Back-to-back birdie. So she still have a lot of holes left. Would love to go into the clubhouse with a couple more birdies after reeling off a back-to-back birdie. And that was Minji Park who got her tee shot inside of Hyoju.
I think she might have learned a little bit about the break there from Hyoju's putt.
It seems pretty simple, Eddie.
I think so. I think it's dead straight.
A bit uphill.
Just the kind of putt you'd like to have for birdie.
Trying to go 4 under and get within 6 shots of the current leader, Sun Woo-bae, who is now on the 10th tee.
Oh.
Got to be kicking herself for missing that putt. You know Minji Park is a good putter. Walks
She
away.
certainly doesn't miss a lot of those. That's unfortunate she missed that one.
All right, Lan Hong. This will be her 4th shot. A lengthy one. Needs to get that ball close to the hole. And experience must come into play. And that was a good effort there on Lan Hong.
Yes, that was good distance control. Unfortunately, just a little bit of a misread.
But given where she was, I think she'll be very happy to walk away with a par in this hole. Still a missed opportunity, and we're back on the 10th hole with our leader, Sun Woo-bae, currently leading 3 shots over Da Bin-ho, who shot 66 today, and I think she likes her tee shot there. Oh, look at that.
And a great kick forward there. That's unusual for today's wet conditions.
It almost seems like she had a topspin on that drive. All right, Jeongeun Kim. A difficult par 4, 13th hole. Looking for that birdie. Needs to hit hard enough to get over the ridge.
Again, another good distance control.
And didn't break as much as she wanted to. Just kept on going straight. Now, Jeongeun Kim too. This is one of the shots that I think that you will see that she has really improved. The distance control, the short game. Eddie?
I agree completely. A part of her game she's really improved over the last several years.
All right. Try to get within 2 shots of our leader, Sun Woo-bae. Her 4th shot.
Another good touch.
Even if she misses, she is just around the green, at least 1.5 feet or 2 left to right.
Right, she always seems to give herself a chance. The ball's always around the hole there.
And she'll putt out for a par to remain at 7 under. So she has 3 holes left. Still has a chance to at least pick up a birdie or 2.
I think staying on top of that leaderboard going into the weekend is always a good position for these players.
I think the ground crew really should be commended. The fact that they came out early, our first tee time going off at 6:20 in the morning. But at the time, the rain was coming down very steadily. But we're able to get this golf course in the playing condition. Had never had a stoppage there. This is Jeongeun Kim on a par 3 12th hole with an 8-iron. About a 3/4 swing. Pull a little bit left, but almost pin high.
I think a lot of the players are favoring that side of the green. It seems like everybody's favoring the left side.
Now this is Minji Park who chipped it in on the 14th hole, but rolls it by.
Well, she's not having the best days that she's ever had, but just keeping her head up.
All right, Hijung Lim. You talked about taking a dead aim. She really has that sharp iron game.
Yes, and especially with these short middle irons, I'm sure she's going to be looking dead at the pin.
And she's gone with a 9-iron, where Jeongeun Kim, who's much longer than Hee Jung Lim, gone with an 8-iron. And 9-iron is one of the Hee Jung Lim's favorite club to play with, and she's holding that club up.
She's looking at it, staring at it. Oh, great shot. She'll have a good look at birdie there.
Hee Jung still not able to get anything going in this round, and now Hyodin Kim with a long birdie putt. What do you see here, Eddie?
I see it being pretty straight. Speed controls everything, and it looks like she got it pretty well.
Still powered it through a little bit. Now she'll have about a very tester 3.5 footer to come back to save a par. And Hana Jung also back on the 12th hole, along with Hee Jung Lim and Jojo Kim. Check that, Seyoung Kim. Currently even par for the day, and she has selected to go with the 8-iron just like Seyoung has.
Oh,
And goes right over the flag, and good shot there.
very good shot.
All right, overnight leader Seyoung Kim, 2. 16th hole, missing the fairway again, but again, the rough has not been an issue. It's always been the greens that have given all sorts of fits to the ladies.
That's right. It doesn't seem like they let the grass in the rough grow as much as they could have.
And the players expressing in the post-round interview that it was very difficult to get adjusted to having no gallery. Hyun Park on the 15th hole, on a par 5. That's a good shot there. That shouldn't be an issue with her Hyun Park's caliber.
Not at all. She'll have a short wedge into this fairly wide green.
Seyoung Kim for birdie to go 2 under on the 12th par 3 here.
Nice little right to left. If you get the speed right, got to get it up, and a little bit short. Have a nice tap in for par there.
So a lot of players still trying to shake off the rust of not playing under the tournament condition. Lan Hong keeping her ship steady. Currently a 5 under par for the tournament.
And looks like a little bit of a push to the right. An uncharacteristically missed fairway again.
All right, back to 12th par 3, Hee Jung Lim.
Fairly simple line. Uphill, not much break.
And she has been missing just a few inches to the left or right. She's been able to control her distance, but just not getting the alignment, just like Choi did yesterday, missing at least 5 or 6 birdie opportunities yesterday. All right, back to par 5, 15th. Out of the rough, Hyun Park talking with the caddy. And it does appear that the wind is kicking up just a tad bit at the Lakewood Country Club.
Looks like she's going to have a little bit of a ball below the feet lie situation going on. I think distance control is going to be extremely important here. Most likely a 56 or possibly 58 degree wedge.
All right, Hyun Park not having one of the better rounds, but Hyun would love to get a birdie right here and go 5 under to join Lan Hong.
Looks like the line is good. And the distance is good as well.
Goodness, but it's a good shot there. So Hyun Park could get a birdie here and maybe another birdie to walk away with a 6 under to get within 4 shots of the current leader, Sun Bae. That's got to give her some really positive energy. And energy is something Hana Jung does not lack, but boy, that has to be a misread, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. That was not that big of a break.
And this is our leader, Sun Bae, on the 10th hole.
From the middle of the fairway, I don't think there's a very complicated shot here. Looks like she might have drew it a little bit too much there. Yeah, a little bit on the left-hand side, but still. And quite short.
It doesn't seem like she made a good contact with that second shot, but
may have been.
We'll go back to Hana Jung to finish a par, to remain a level par for the tournament. Hana Jung had a great career with the KLPGA Tour, always known as one of the top amateur player. Went on the LPGA Tour and has decided to come back home, and now has done a good job making a home back on the KLPGA Tour. And this is Minji Park with
what
a long
good shot
second shot, and a good shot there by
Yes.
Minji.
And what a great shot.
And this is one of the reasons why she is one of the top players on this KLPGA Tour. Currently 3 under par, but her shots are looking pretty good, looking pretty crisp. Hyoju reeling off back-to-back birdie. Would love to get another birdie here to move on to the very difficult par 4 14th hole. And another birdie hole on the 15th hole, par 5, waiting for her.
There's a little bit downhill, ball below the feet. I think the ball is going to tend to move a little right in this type of a situation. It should help her.
Hyoju.
Pretty clean contact.
And look at this. Will it get over the ridge? And she has. And this is probably one of the better shots that we've seen on this 13th hole.
Yeah, it was a great, great effort there.
Coming out of the rough. Going up the hill a little bit with a slightly elevated green. Has done a good job there. Now this is Lan Hong on the 16th hole, playing alongside with Jojo Kim too.
Looks like she's got a really good lie there in the rough.
Another clean cut there. Wow, that ball just ran away from her. And ball rolling back there. And this is exactly what we were talking about. The players are really faced with very, very fast greens, despite all the heavy rain that we had earlier this morning.
I'm sure she was a little disappointed that ball didn't roll back down onto the green like it would have yesterday in the drier conditions.
All right, Sun Bae, the distance control is absolutely a premium. And might be the first time that she is faced with a difficult par putt to remain at 10 under par.
Looks like Chaeyoung also has a very good lie in the rough. Looks like even in these conditions, the ball's sitting up very, very well. Should be an easy shot.
Well, that's a beautiful second shot there. And she has done a good job given that she was coming out of the rough and hitting into that hard green, running away from the pin.
Well, she's going to be faced with a very, very difficult downhill putt from there. We'll see how she does.
But with the putting touch that she has today going, I think she will have a good opportunity for a birdie. And this is Jung Min Cho, who played her amateur career in New Zealand.
Good effort.
Had a beautiful putt, but that will be for a bogey. It appears that her tee shot had gone into hazard, so that was for bogey. Has to be disappointed with that result. And now Jojo Kim on this 14th hole.
I think they may have been trying to decide who was farther away.
And it appears that Minji Park will go first. And when you have a situation like that, do the players talk each other and try to figure out who will go first, who's away?
That's right. They usually discuss between themselves, and sometimes even the further away will concede to the other player to hit first.
All right, Minji Park, this is for birdie. Slightly up the hill.
Good
and
speed.
I think she may have gotten it. Oh, got robbed there. Broke left at the last second.
I think she believed that that ball was going in.
There's a lot of subtle breaks there. Well, let's check the leaderboard again. And Sunwoo Bae all alone at 10 under par after shooting 5 under in the front 9. And Da Bin Ho quickly turning in 66, 6 under par at 8 under. In her sole position is second place. And Cha Young Kim as Sae-Rin Hyun, overnight leader, behind 3 shots of the current leader. We'll be back after these messages. All right, we're back to Lakewood Country Club where the round 2 action for the 42nd KLPGA Championship is taking place. Well, yesterday we had a very difficult course condition with the green being so hard and fast. But today, early this morning, the rain softened the greens, allowed some of the top players to turn in some low scores. And the two players turning in 66, 6 under par. But let's take a look at the weather condition now. It is ever changing, Eddie?
Yes, with the temperature at 14 degrees Celsius, it is chilling up. The humidity is rather high, but the most important factor, the wind speed, is really, really making the course conditions easy for the players.
And looking at our television camera, the rain is coming down a bit, and Lan Hong playing along with Jung Kim, the overnight leader. Teed off at 11:30, currently on the 16th hole.
And it looks like the players that teed off early in the morning were having a lot more difficulty finding low scores than the players in the afternoon. Again, the course has really been softened up. The winds have died down, and players are just taking dead aim on every hole, it seems like.
But players like Arim Kim and Jihyun Kim, all very notable players on the local tour. Some names not familiar with our fans around the world, but Minji Park and Jung Min Cho are the two names that are also somewhat unfamiliar, but Jojo Kim, if you're following the LPGA Tour, as well as Hana Jung and Seyoung Kim, all top players from the LPGA Tour.
That's right, they certainly dominated.
And let's take a look at the highlights from the early going on the 17th hole. This is Da Bin Ho, currently in sole second position, and this is how she got into the second place by herself. 8 under par, 66. At the time, the leader by 2 in the early round. And this is Hyun Yu, also coming in with the 66, 6 under par after a 2 over par yesterday.
Not quite as tentative over these short putts as they were yesterday.
And Serin Hyun, the rookie from Jeju Island, not afraid of any condition, even a major tournament. And look at that confident putt.
Dead center of the cup.
And Sunghyun Park, what a disappointing tournament result this is for her, but you can't fault her because the last time she played under the tournament condition was back in November at the CME.
Yeah, it's always hard to take 6 months off and try to come back with your A game.
Minji Park. Now keep an eye on this ball. Keep rolling, and it for eagle.
What a great start from Minji Park.
So this is Lan Hong, the veteran, with her long second shot. Of course, playing very long for Lan Hong, and this ball, what a great distance control.
Almost
there,
goes
Eddie.
in, almost rolled it in from quite a distance away.
And a solid birdie putt there. 11th hole, par 5 has also given some opportunities for players to go after a birdie. And that is a powerful swing by Jung Kim, too.
And I believe this is what started that small birdie run for her.
Uphill, no problem. Solid putting stroke there.
No doubt.
And this is Sunu Bae, our leader, by 3 shots, but also overnight leader.
Yeah, she nearly holes this one out from the fairway.
So we've had quite a few eagles. Yesterday, Hee Choi putted in for an eagle and easy birdie to put herself at 10 under par. At the time, 3 shots over Da Bin Ho, who turned in 66. Now there's Jung Kim, too. A very lengthy downhill birdie putt. And no problem.
That's a nice back-to-back birdie for Jeongeun Kim.
And that's exactly where she's at 7 under. And Lan Hong saying, if you can do that, I can do that too. Back to back. So we've seen 2 birdies out of that group.
That's really unfortunate. There's not much of a or actually no gallery there to witness this excellent golf play.
So another leaderboard, Sunu Bae, 10 under par, currently leading over Da Bin Ho, 2 shot over. And Jung Kim and Serin Hyun. And Jung On the 16th hole, still try to shave off a couple more strokes.
Yes, that 3, 4, 5 under area is getting awfully crowded.
And Hyun Cho, who had 4 under yesterday, was looking pretty good, but only could manage a level par for the day, and we'll go into the moving day tomorrow at 4 under par. And now let's go check out Jung Kim 2 on the 16th hole. A little bit downhill, Eddie.
What a good look at birdie. It's going to tail off to the right if they got the speed. Yes,
oh, my
indeed.
Lord. That's another birdie there on the 16th, and Jung Kim 2 has that putting stroke going.
That 20 to 25 foot range for her is just really, really dialed in today.
And Sonu on a par 5, 11th hole, and it appears after faced with that long par putt, looks like she's made that putt there, Eddie.
I think so.
To remain a 10 under par, and now has 2 players chasing her. Lan Hong. 5 under par for the tournament.
Pretty routine 4-foot putt here.
Oh, it slides by the left edge. And we saw a lot of those misses yesterday with those lightning fast greens. All right, back to Hana Jang. And this is 13th hole.
She really needs to get something going here in her back nine. She's, again, the 3rd putt in a row she's misread to the right.
It appears that not only her stroke is off, but also her alignment is off. Eddie, when you have a situation like this, this seems like the problem seems to compound each other.
That's right, and that's when you really need to get your caddy involved in your address and your alignment, and check and double check.
All right, Minji Park had a shot eagle on the 7th hole to quickly shoot up to 2 under par, and comes out way short on that hole.
You can tell the ball was above her feet here. I think that was just a mishit.
All right, Jung Kim. Ever so delicate downhill putt. Has a lot more break than she saw there.
The speed is obviously very different from yesterday. The adjustment that these players have to make must be very difficult.
All right, Jojo Kim feeling much better after reeling off a couple birdies back to back. And now,
I think maybe that may have been a little bit heavy, but still not a bad result.
well, I tell you, you can't tell by her reaction as to whether she hit a good shot or not. And we might be being faked out by Jojo Kim. So we're going to have to hold our tongue until we actually see that ball land on the green and end up exactly where it's at.
That's right.
And Hee Jung Lim. Oh, and a beautiful birdie there.
Oh, that's certainly going to raise her spirits and boost her confidence a little bit.
A very difficult 13th hole, and Hee Jung Lim says no problem.
Finally a smile.
All right, 17th hole, par 3. This is one of the shorter holes. It's a hole-in-one prize on this hole. Ooh, huge bunker on the left side and a water hazard, but that shouldn't come into play. But the tree on the right, but the greens has a lot of contour, a lot of undulations.
That's right. The front of the green has a bit of a false front and is double tiered.
All right, Jung Kim 2 after that beautiful birdie downhiller, and the rain has picked up a bit here.
Staring at it, and looks like it's in the front part of the green there. That's going to be an upper level putt there, putting from the lower level to the upper level. The green speed is going to be very, very difficult to judge.
All right, our leader, Sunu Bae, hitting her second shot. And I think she was just trying to hit as as far as she can to give herself a short club to hit into the green for her third shot on the 11th. And this is Jeongeun Park. Bunker shot. Greenside bunker. Downhiller. The distance control will be absolutely premium. And a hole out from the bunker for Jeongeun Park.
What a great bunker shot.
And just like that, back-to-back-to-back birdie to go 6 under. And look out, only 4 shots out of the lead for Jeongeun Park. Lan Hong. And that seems to be like the favorite spot for all 3 players, ending up far left corner.
The good news is they're going to be learning off of each other's putts.
And the players taking a very tentative and conservative approach with the 17th hole. Hee Jung Lim. Got to feel good about that birdie on the very difficult 13th hole. And appears to be a good tee shot on the 14th. Eddie, we haven't seen that many birdie on the 13th hole. In fact, I don't think we've seen any birdie on the 13th hole so far we've been on the air.
It is one of the most difficult holes of the golf course, and the way they have it set up this week certainly compounds that difficulty.
Well, the players will be just happy to walk away with a par on the 13th and 14th hole. And Jeongeun Kim, she will take a mighty cut and may have missed it out to the right side.
Certainly is looking to the right, but catches the right side of the fairway. Should be just fine.
Jeongeun, one of the top-ranked player in the world. And this is Jojo Kim with the birdie to go 3 under.
Very makeable.
And she has done it. All right. We got Jojo Kim firing on all cylinders. So 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. So though there's no gallery there, we got some excitement and exciting actions and a lot of birdies dropping here under softer condition. And again, another look at the leaderboard. Sunwoo Bae, 10 under par, but look out. Jeongeun Kim, 2 at 8 under par, along with Da Bin Ho at 8 under par, only 2 shots off the lead. And Hee Lim Jo, 4 shots off the lead after shooting 2 under par today.
A lot of these players are really trying to take advantage of these soft conditions. I can imagine the leaderboard getting a lot more packed at the top.
Well, tomorrow should be an incredibly exciting day with a moving day and players trying to jockey for a better position at the top of the leaderboard, and with still a few holes left, they're taking dead aim, and Lan Hong on the 17th hole comes up short, but that ought to give the other playing partners an opportunity to see exactly what they need to do.
Whenever you have big elevation changes in the green or big undulations, it's always an advantage to see the other players hit their balls first. You can really learn a lot about the green speed.
Exactly, Eddie, and I think these players are really looking tentatively, and Lan Hong been asked by Jeongeun Kim to move her mark, and she is just looking from all different angles to try to get a good feel exactly how hard she needs to hit here. And Jeongeun Kim, too, is threatened to hole from just about anywhere. As long as the ball is on the green, look out.
It certainly seems that way. This is right up her alley. This range is the range that she's been dropping bombs from all day.
Yeah, either uphill, downhill. It has not been a problem with Jeongeun Kim, too. So giving Sunwoo Bae a really run for the money, only 2 shots off the lead. And this is Jeongeun Kim, too, the overnight leader after coming in with a 5 under par yesterday. Also keeping a good form at 3 under par so far. She's asking one of the staff to
Yeah, somebody
stand
must have been
still.
walking around in her line of view for sure.
This is a birdie to go 9 under. Jung Kim, too.
Oh, she's got the speed. Speed is good.
Looking really good.
Wow.
And just misses by an inch.
Wow, what a great distance control. What a great touch.
It is so difficult to hit hard enough to get that ball to the hole.
Yes, especially from down there, the bottom of the green. That where she was practice putting before was really the apex of that hill.
And I really like the fact that she took a lot of time, but she was very, very tentative and studied all from all angles. And now this is Hana Jung. She needs to get going here.
It's a pretty good looking shot there. Seems to be right on line. If
Took
it
a
can
big
get up,
hop, but just came up short.
that's right. The rain has really softened the areas around the front of the greens. I don't think they're getting the kicks and the bounces that they were yesterday.
And that may have been a bit unlucky for Hana Jung. All right, this is Hijung Lim. We've been telling you about Hijung. And she has recorded a birdie on the 13th hole, one of the most difficult holes on the Lakewood Country Club on the back nine.
See if she can carry that momentum here to this shot. Great shot.
Oh my goodness.
Great
what
shot.
A great distance control and another birdie opportunity for Hee Jung to go back to back on two of the most difficult holes on Lakewood Country Club.
Right, that birdie on 13th, she definitely gained a stroke on the entire field with that birdie.
All right, Minji Park, you know what she did on the 16th hole, hold out from the bunker. And going right at it, too. So that must have given her some confidence. Now, ball's moving.
There's a big slope there. Yes, that's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate, but
that's a very difficult pin position, being at the edge of that undulation. That's almost like being punished for a good shot. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Minji Park kind of murmuring to herself. And our leader on the par 5 11th hole, another golden opportunity to notch another birdie.
Which she does.
Oh my, no problem whatsoever, thank you. And she goes 11 under. And I think
certainly has a hot round today.
And Jeongeun Lee 6 has been put on notice for the course record. 10 under par, and still has many holes left, including a par 5 15th hole. Sunwoo Bae currently leading the two players, Jung Kim 2 and Da Bin Ho, who finished earlier this morning by 3 shots now.
It must be a good feeling to have that many birdies and not any bogeys. That's going to give her a lot of confidence going into the weekend.
Rain's starting to come down a little bit here, and Dawan Kwon on the 11th hole, par 5. This is for par, to save a par, to remain at 1 under par. She's playing along with Sunwoo Bae. And how many times have we seen this? A 3 or 4 putter, just having trouble, all sorts of trouble to hold that putt. All right, last hole, Jung Kim 2, currently 8 under, 3 shots off the lead. What
Great
a powerful swing there, Eddie.
Great swing. It doesn't really matter where this ball ends up. I think with that club head speed and that type of impact, it's going to run out. Oh, that's a great swing.
All right, Hana Jung, who was extremely unfortunate in coming up short, getting that unfortunate bounce in front of the green, may have tried to hit below the hole.
And this looks like it's going to come up a little short as well, but another tester putt at that 4 or 5 foot range there. I believe the rain that's falling is certainly affecting their play.
And the rain picking up a little bit again. You can see the water coming down on their umbrella, and the players' temperature dropping with the rain coming down. got to start feel a little more uncomfortable. And this is Hee Jung Kim.
The hardest thing when the rain comes down like this is keeping your grips dry. And the feeling of a wet grip in your hand, especially on a full swing, can be very disorienting.
Exactly. And I think Hyun Park here on the 17th hole, after coming so close of getting over that ridge and then ball just trickling away from her. Now this is for birdie to go 7 under. What do you see here, Eddie?
Big right to left break up the hill. And she's got the line.
She got the line and speed.
That's right.
And that is about as good as getting a birdie.
Oh, she can't be disappointed with that effort. That was a great putt.
Yeah, if you get careless with that first putt, that ball could have ended up back to her feet. And that was a great distance control on Hyun Park. All right, here's this Hee Jung Kim 2, currently tied for second place on the 18th hole.
Yeah, less than 130 meters. She's looking straight at the pin. Expect this one to get close.
And that she has.
Great shot.
And I think she will be happy with that result, especially the ball really hitting the green down ridge and running away from her.
But again, in that same 20 to 25 foot range, don't count her out.
All right, Hee Jung Lim. This is for birdie. Going straight up the hill.
Another excellent putt.
And I think this is the first time we've actually seen anybody go back-to-back birdie on the 13th and 14th hole, Eddie.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. She's gained 2 strokes on the field with back-to-back birdies on 13, 14.
And that's got to feel good about her going into the par 5 15th hole. And this is Lan Hong for her second shot. Distance control is at a premium. And again, that's got to be unfortunate and really unfair to the players to see that ball run away after hitting a good shot within about 140 yards from the fairway.
Yeah, I think it was very difficult to try to put any amount of spin on the wet rough, from the wet rough, I should say.
And the 12th hole, Sun Bay, our leader, after getting that birdie 6 under, only 4 shots off the course record, the pin sitting in front of the green. Has decided to go with the 8-iron.
Telling it to go, and it does. If it stays, she should have a good uphill look at birdie.
All right, Hana Jang needs to get a par to remain at even par and get some momentum on the 15th hole and potentially go under par into the 3rd round.
Okay.
All right, nice job there to save a par. All right, 18th hole, Lan Hong, long birdie putt. Now, yesterday, we saw one of the players hole out from here from long distance. Let's see if Lan Hong can do it.
Not a whole lot of break to that putt. Unlike yesterday, where the pin was middle back.
The veteran Lan Hong, I think, did a very good job in getting that ball.
She sure did.
The distance control was just absolutely perfect.
Okay, par 5, another opportunity for 4th straight birdie.
All right, Hee Jung Lim coming in with some momentum, back-to-back birdie on the 13th, 14th hole.
Well, it is a par 5. That shouldn't present too much of a problem. I don't think she would have been able to reach the green in 2.
All right, Hee Jung Kim 2, tied for second place, 3 shots out of the leader is Sun Bay.
Now this putt might break a lot left to right.
And with her distance control that she has today, she is ever so threatened to get another birdie to get within 2 shots of our leader, Sun Woo-bae.
Little bit short on the speed. That's,
Might have been a little bit tentative on that going downhill.
I think so.
And she'll have that to save a par, but another great round after turning in 5 under yesterday. And will walk away with 8 under for the tournament and will definitely be in the final group along with Sun Woo-bae. And Sun Woo, 11 under par, and this will be for birdie.
It looking good. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Sun Woo
Is on fire.
Another birdie. She is absolutely on fire on a back-to-back birdie from 11th and 12th hole. And now only 3 shots off the course record. And Sun Woo, also the winner of the KLPGA Championship, the 33rd KLPGA Championship. So it's been 9 years since she won this tournament. Would love to win another one. Hee Jung Kim on the 15th hole. Long, powerful hitter.
In the light rough on the left-hand side. With her strength and her distance, shouldn't be a problem.
And Hee Jung Kim, even though she had pulled it left yesterday, she went for it in 2, was able to get there in 2. But Jojo Kim, who is finally back in the red number, and she is now faced with the 3rd shot. 3 under, would love to get another birdie right here.
Good balanced swing.
And pulled it just left, but still will have a good look for a birdie to go 4 under. And she's been pulling a lot of those shots to the left.
That's right. Fortunately, she's maintaining her distance control, though, hitting her shots pin high most of the time.
Now playing alongside with Jojo Kim, this is Jung Min Cho. She's another really good player, feisty player, still not out of it whatsoever, and needs to get a birdie right here. And comes up short. And she's another person who really has a good swing. All right, Lan Hong for par. All right, after turning in 3 under yesterday, she shoots 1 under today and will be at 4 under. Currently 7 shots off the leader, Sun Woo-bae.
And not a bad position to be in going into the weekend.
All right, Hee Jung Kim too. Very carefully reading this short par putt to remain at 8 under for the tournament. And Hee Jung Kim too could have dropped a couple more birdies, but today I think she'll be very happy to walk away with a 69 after 67. So our overnight leader, 5 under par, added another 3 under for the day, and she will go into the moving day at 8 under par for the tournament.
Right. It's always good to have 2 scores in the 60s down going into the weekend.
Absolutely. And now we look at Hee Jung Lim, who went back-to-back birdie on some of the most difficult holes that we have in Lakewood Country Club. Not only she has a beautiful iron game, but her putting stroke has really come back. It's a 2nd shot on a par 5, 15th hole.
Ball looks like it's sitting down just a little bit below her feet, so not the easiest of shots here. Needs to be careful not to pull it left.
Looks like a bit of an abbreviated swing.
That's right.
And a beautiful swing to keep that ball in the middle of the fairway, and that should give her a chance to spin that ball going into the green.
She certainly set herself up for a very, very good third shot.
Our Hana Jung selecting to go with an iron for her layup shot. Also hitting it very good down the middle and near Hijung Lim is. All right, this is Jeongeun Kim on the 16. And the distance control is one of the problems that she's been having all day as well as yesterday, as her score is certainly reflective of the trouble she's been having.
And I'd like to know how much caddy input is she's been given with the distance on her second shots.
Well, the rain was coming down and now has stopped. The umbrellas has gone back in the golf bag. Now Jeongeun Kim. Now she's also looking for that right distance to lay up for her third shot. Has decided to go with an iron.
That ball must have been sitting down in the grass a little bit. Maybe the grass catching some of the club face, turning it over, leading to a pulled shot left.
All right, Minji Park. Oh, that is a beautiful shot.
Great shot.
Great shot. And I think she will have a good look at the birdie opportunity. That's one of the closer second shot that we've seen on this 18th hole. And Jojo par 5 15th hole. This is another birdie opportunity, Eddie. It seems like an uphill putt.
Uphill, probably slightly left to right, but pretty straight. The way she's been putting, I wouldn't doubt this might go in. Looking good. Speed is good. Just a bit short.
Tantalizingly coming up short. So misses an opportunity for a birdie. But Jojo has to feel pretty good that she has been able to find a few birdies on the back nine and is at 3 under par. Now Sunwoo, 12 under par after getting another birdie on the 12th hole on a back-to-back basis. And now all of a sudden is 4 shots ahead of Dabin Ho and Jeongeun Kim, who just finished with a 3 under par.
Right, the only player today that's just really hit any kind of streak.
And now all eyes are on Sunwoo Bae, and we'll be back to check out her record and her action right after these messages. All right, we're back to round 2 action at Lakewood Country Club for the 42nd KLPGA Championship. One of the players that we're keeping a close eye on is none other than our leader, Sunwoo Bae, who is currently at 12 under par, but more so, she is 7 under par and is threatened to overtake the course record set by Jeongeun Lee 6, the defending champion of the U.S. Women's Open. And currently, Sunwoo Bae is 7 under par with still a lot of holes left, but we have Hee Jung Lim, who's gone back-to-back birdie on some of the most difficult holes at Lakewood Country Club.
And is giving herself another chance for the 3rd straight birdie here on the par 5.
And as we said, keep an eye on this lady, Hee Jung Lim. She can go low as well. And low Sunwoo Bae has on this beautiful day at Lakewood Country Club. Now she's looking tentatively to the right side.
Yeah, it looks like the ball disappeared in the grass here. We'll have to really check that lie.
It is one of the longer holes that the players will be contending with. Now this Hana Jang with her 3rd shot. With the wet fairway, what are some of the things the players will have to look for the distance control there?
Yeah, well, obviously, the first thing is not to get too much of the grass before you hit the ball, which is very easy to do when the grass is wet like this. So a lot of players will tend to move the ball a little bit further back in their stance, and you try to utilize the bounce of the wedge.
Jeongeun Kim, 3rd shot. Got to get a birdie here.
So good from that distance.
And this is one of the reasons why she is in top 10 in the world ranking. So 3 good birdie opportunities set up for the 15th hole for that group. Now Minji Park, one of the better second shot on the 18th hole. Very difficult par for 18th hole. Sunwoo Bae looking to run away from the pack. At one time, she was only 2 shots off ahead of the pair of the players, but now she is 4 shots ahead of Jeongeun Kim 2 and Dabin Ho.
Just make sure she reads enough break. This will break left to right. A lot of players are missing below the hole from this area.
Well, you can't win the tournament in the 2nd round. You need to continue to put on good strokes. And that she has!
Unbelievable. Great way to finish the round.
One of the few birdie putts that we've witnessed here in the 18th hole. And Minji Park, after holding out on the 16th hole par 4 from the bunker, this will definitely give her a tremendous confidence boost. And this is Jojo Kim on the 16th hole.
Okay, nice drive.
Comfortably finds the left side of the fairway with her tee shot. Hana Jang will go first out of this particular group, along with Hee Jung Lim and Jeongeun Kim, all have an excellent opportunity for birdie. Hana needs a birdie here. Eddie?
Very, very simple putt. I give this a high probability of going in.
And has she hit that putt?
Oh, but you have to hit it.
You cannot come any closer than not going in with Hana Jang's putt.
Right.
Still looking, still waiting.
Yeah, I think she's going to wait just a little bit just in case, because it's just teetering on the edge.
Now, in a situation like that, how many seconds do you have? And are you allowed to wait under the new rules?
The new rule, well, it's typically 30 seconds, but, it depends on the situation of how the ball is teetering, whether or not there's any movement.
And another look here. And if it wasn't for that rain, I think that ball would have dropped. And that's been kind of the frustrating day that Hana Jang has, and still murmuring herself.
Yeah, she is a very strong putter from that distance. That's unusual. That was just unfortunate that that ball did not drop.
And looking at behind Hee Jung Lim, looking at the water hazard, you see the rain coming down again, fairly hard. Needs this birdie to get closer to the leader, Sun Bae, at 12 under par. Playing a hole ahead of Sun Bae. And she has done it.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, absolutely, Eddie. And she has gone back to back birdie on some of the more difficult holes. And on this par 5, the 15th hole, everybody had expected her to do well, and she has definitely not disappointed us.
That's right.
Hyodin Kim, 17th hole, short par 3. Oh, and this might be a hole-in-one. Oh, my Lord, that just came up a few inches short of not only a hole-in-one, but also an opportunity to drive away with that beautiful sedan sitting behind their tee box. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Say Young?
yeah, I think she
I don't
thought
know
it was going
exactly
in.
what happened there, but I think she didn't take enough time, and it just looks like she is out of it.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic of her. I think she thought the ball was actually going in and was very surprised that it curved, just broke the very last 5-6 inches.
All right, our leader, Sun Bae, 12 under. So far, she has already gotten 7 under, 7 birdies with no bogeys.
And she's got this ball on the green. What a great shot that is from that lie.
And oh, the ball will not get over that ridge, but still, she has done a good job coming out of that rough with a long second shot that she was faced with. And I think both she and the caddy are happy to see that ball on the green. And this is Jojo Kim on the 16th hole. All right, finally finding her form in the back 9.
Yeah, that contact sounded really good. And the result? Not bad.
And although the ball went past the hole, still, I think she really gave herself a good chance for a birdie opportunity to go 4 under for the tournament.
Yeah, it's good to see her just cruising along like this, not really giving herself too much pressure, not trying too hard, preparing herself for the weekend.
All right, from the middle of the fairway, Minji Park. An opportunity for her to get this ball closer to the hole for a birdie on the 16th. And that is a great shot from Minji Park.
Yeah, wonderful shot there.
Minji, although small in stature, really has a powerful swing, particularly the short iron is just one of the top caliber on the KLPGA Tour. And Jeongeun Kim.
And not having the best day today. Looks like she's missed this ball to the left again.
That is way left, and she'll be left with a long putt. Might have to be faced with a long putt going up the hill with the distance control will be absolutely critical. Hannah John on the 16th hole. Got to be kicking herself after missing that birdie putt on the 15th by an inch. And just trickling into the right side of the rough.
Yes, I think she'll be fine from there.
Eddie, when you're playing well and your competitive partners are not playing well, what do you need to do to really stay focused on your game?
Well, like with anything else in golf, it's all about staying in the present. And I think if you start paying attention to what other players are doing, you're taking yourself out of the present. You can't control the players, but you can control yourself.
Well, control is something Jojo Kim has done very well in the back nine play in the second round action. And she is really trying to dust off some rust as she is playing for the first time in over 6 months, as a lot of the players have.
And this is a fast downhill right to left break and putt. Very makeable though for her. Well within her range.
This is for birdie.
And just underestimated the speed there. She thought it was a lot faster than it was, which it certainly was yesterday.
But with that downhill, it's just very difficult to pull the trigger to hit it hard enough to get that ball to the hole. And now she has elected to go ahead and putt out because Minji Park is behind her to go ahead and putt out to allow Minji to putt. And that ball sitting right there is Hyodin Kim, who was a few inches away from walking away with not only with the hole-in-one, but a hole-in-one prize of the beautiful K9 sedan. And that will be her birdie.
And that's certainly what it seems like she's saying to herself there. So close and yet so far.
All right, Minji Park. Now, Jojo came up about a foot short of that putt. Minji, what does she need to do to hold this one out, Eddie?
Yeah, well, I think she can just give this a good roll. Not be too tentative, not be too worried about the downhill. Just give it a good roll. Okay, looks like she's looking a little bit left of the hole.
Bit of a left to right putt.
Yes.
And she hit it hard enough. Oh, and just powered it through the break. It just doesn't seem like the ball will get there, and she just tentatively hit it ever so slightly. But let's take a look at another leaderboard again, and Sonu Bae at 12 under par, at 7 under. And Sonu Bae is currently 3 shots off the course record, 62, set by Jeongeun Lee 6 several years ago, right here at Lakewood Country Club. And we'll be back after these messages. All right, back to 42nd KLPGA Championship action from the Lakewood Country Club. Round 2 currently underway and heading home stretch. This is Mike Kim alongside with Eddie Bae. And there's Hee Jung Lim, who has gone back-to-back birdie from 13 through the 15th hole, but on the 16th hole here has found the fairway bunker. Eddie, when you're hitting from the fairway bunker, especially after a lot of rain, what are some of the things you have to look out for?
Keep your feet still. But generally speaking, when the sand is wet, the ball tends to sit up on top of the sand, so it's generally easier to play. But she caught that ball really solid to see how far by the hole she flew that.
Now looking back and see exactly what had happened, but now let's quickly go over to check our leader by 4 shots. Sunwoo Bae on the 13th hole.
She's got the hot hand today.
So anywhere on the green within about 30 feet, she is threatened to hold this ball. And look at here. Could they have a chance?
Wow.
Oh my goodness, Sunwoo Bae.
That hot hand is continuing to be hot. That's right.
So even after missing on a long birdie opportunity, she's not missing by much. Now, Jojo Kim, we saw Hyun Kim coming up about 2 inches from holding this out and walking away with a beautiful sedan. Now, let's see what Jojo Kim can do. And she has gone to the most favorite spot for all the players that she has gone through on this 17th hole par 3. Short distance, but has given a lot of fits to the players.
Yeah, the ball tends to funnel down to the front of the green there in that swale. It's a very, very difficult pin position that is to get close.
Sunwoo threatened to hold out a long birdie putt on the 13th hole and cleans that up for a birdie and leads by 4 over Chaeyoung Kim 2 as well as Da Bin Ho, who turned in 66 today.
Looking way right. A huge breaker off the swale on the right side of the green.
Hee Jung Lim, this is for a long birdie opportunity. And
I think that was just hit a little bit too hard, a little bit softer. It would have caught that swale and swung to the left. But now she's left to herself with a little tester, 6-foot tester.
All right, Minji Park, back to par 3, 17th hole, and has selected to go with a 9-iron for her tee shot.
The question is, did she hit enough right? This is going to catch that swell and go back down as well.
And she will also be faced with an uphill putt. Currently 2 under par for the tournament. All right, this is Chaeyoung Kim playing alongside with Hee Jung Lim for a birdie, going downhill.
Oh.
And this is just absolutely cruel for a lot of these players, especially when you've been off for 6-7 months and playing under this just lightning green speed.
You know, some days it just doesn't drop for you. And I think Chaeyoung is having one of those days today. Very unfortunate. But I don't think she's in danger of missing the cut. I think she'll be sticking around on the weekend, and you never know what can happen with a dynamic player such as her.
Well, Eddie, for this tournament, I think they have implemented a different cut policy where they will allow up to about 104 players or tie to make it into the 3rd round, where they implemented the made the cut but did not finish policy, which the PGA Tour had implemented and had also decided to not to use beginning of 2019-20 season.
That's right. That's right. And I think that's a good move on part of the KLPGA.
Hannah Jung also looking at a very similar birdie putt for Chaeyoung Kim. Currently at even. And this one going to the right side.
She certainly gave herself a good look. It just didn't quite, it just didn't fall.
So she's got to be talking to herself, saying, what do I have to do to buy a birdie putt?
That's right.
All right, Hee Jung Kim on the 17th hole, par 3. 3 under par for the tournament.
Up the hill, breaking
the hill.
left. Well, she certainly got the line right. The speed was good. Couldn't ask for more.
And the pin position on this hole, the short par 3, has given a lot of trouble for the players. One of the few players that have gone after the pin has been Arim Kim, who almost had a hole-in-one. All right, Hee Jung Lim needs the par here to remain at 6 under. Has she hit it hard enough?
Oh,
my goodness.
What a recovery putt to save par.
And this is one of the reasons why the fans absolutely love Hee Jung Lim, and she is just sighing relief that she made that par putt. All right, Hana Jang. Just like the way she approached this, that even though she's not had a whole lot of luck, she has really taken a lot of time and making sure that she sets up.
Yeah, she certainly sticks to her routine. The routine rarely changes. So it's what makes her such a statistically consistent player.
And this is one of the reasons why she is consistently a top player on the KLPGA Tour.
Oh, I agree.
All right, 2 holes remaining. Short par 3 and a par 4. The 18th hole has been treacherous. All right, Ji Young Park. A few times we have caught her 4 over par, and I think 4 over par is a score that will allow them to continue on for the 3rd round play, thanks to the made the cut but did not finish policy that the KLPGA is implementing.
She certainly is on the brink, on the line there, so really need to take care of the short game, make sure she doesn't drop another shot.
Exactly, and I think she has a bit of a work left to save a par on this 18th hole. And now Jeongeun Kim from the middle fairway, 3 over. A shot within the cut to make it into the 3rd round play. Would love to get a birdie right here.
Okay. Pin high just to the right. Should be a pretty straightforward birdie putt there.
All right, the ball not rolling away as much as that it was last year or last week. And Sonu Bay may have pulled a little bit left.
Yeah, needs to hang on. Needs to hang on.
And that got to be the unforced error there from the middle of the fairway. And has to be kicking herself for a bad result there.
Right, that's got to be a little bit disappointing.
Now, Hee Jung Lim has a sharp iron game. Love to see what she's going to do right here on this par 3 17th hole.
Yeah, she's got a pretty hot putter as well, so short par 3. I expect her to get this close. Great rhythm. And I think she hit it just enough to the right. Okay, needs to stay there.
And I don't think that's going to stay. I don't think she hit it hard enough to keep that ridge. And will roll off, and she will be also faced with a very lengthy birdie putt to go 7 under. But you knew that she was going to go after the pin.
Oh, that's right.
Ji Young Park needs to save a par to make it into the 3rd round play, and I think she has just done that. Se Young also taking a very aggressive line.
Yes, great shot.
And this is exactly what you had to do.
You've got to hit it far enough right, stay on that upper tier, and she's giving herself a good look at birdie.
And I remember Jung Kim playing in one of the tournaments on local tour before making a move over to the LPGA Tour. She had a hole-in-one to jump ahead of the leader at the time and went on to win in the playoff. So she is just an exciting player and love to see what she's going to do come third round. Hannah Jung also taking a very aggressive line, and this comes out way short. Hannah Jung would just be happy to walk away with a par and perhaps to just finish a level par. Needs to go back and try to forget about the round which she had today.
That's right, and she's going to have the entire weekend to look forward to, so shouldn't be too bad.
And Sonu Bae.
There's a big chip coming up here. She's got it in the back of her stance. Looks like she's going to kind of just clip it.
Coming downhill and
another great
shot there.
Absolutely.
There's not a single area that she is not firing on all. She is absolutely firing on all cylinders. Hyodin Kim, thanks to a birdie on the 17th hole at level par, and this is a birdie opportunity to go under par in the third round action, but she will be walking away with a par, a very disappointing par. So after a 1 over yesterday, 1 under today, even par for the tournament.
Certainly shouldn't be too disappointed with that. I'm sure she had some opportunities that were lost out there, but she's playing on the weekend.
All right, Jojo Kim on the 18th hole. A rather simple par 4.
Yes, with her distance, it shouldn't be a problem at all.
And Jojo has bulked up quite a bit over the winter months and has indicated that she is hitting it much longer than she has in the past. Hannah Jung, very delicate chip shot. Hannah really should be happy just walk away with a par on this hole.
Yeah, she's got to be careful not to be short to prevent from running down to the bottom of the swale. Okay,
she just made it. And this might go in the hole. Look out!
Oh,
unbelievable!
My goodness.
Well, we said that she would be happy to walk away with the par, but
she was trying to sink that chip.
I think she was actually trying to chip it in.
That's right. Okay, great par.
Although her score is even par for the moment, we'll have another look. Look at here. Unbelievable. And she's one of the few that really is able to keep the emotional check, but a few times.
Yeah, sometimes those days just don't drop for you. Sometimes they do. That's the up and down of golf.
Hannah Jung, even though she's even par for the tournament, that could also well be 3 under. And this is Minji Park.
She's anxiously looking to the left. Ah.
And that's gone into the right bunker. And let's see where the ball has popped out or not. Now, Hee Jung Lim.
Did she hit it hard enough?
And I think she has just come up short.
Just a bit.
So she'll have that for a par putt and remain a 6 under.
And just as importantly, keep that momentum going into the last few holes.
And one of the most impressive part of her game is her iron game, but today she not only was able to show her strength, but also her putting on 13, 14, 15th. A good distance birdie putts dropping for her and also saving herself on the 16th hole. A long par putt to remain a 6 under par for the tournament. Now Minji Park in the fairway bunker on the right side, but it appears that, and this is one of the holes that it appears very benign, but that fairway bunker does come into play.
It certainly does. Fortunately, it looks like she has a pretty good lie, slightly on the uphill, which will certainly help her get it over the lip.
All right, this is Jung Min Cho. A rather simple second shot out of the rough.
And the impact sounded very clean.
And a really good result there, although the ball runs away, but still, I think she will have a good look at a birdie putt. All right, Jeongeun Kim for a birdie on the 17th. Took a very gusset line and just lipped out there. And that's been kind of the day that she's been having all day.
Certainly is. Her and Hanajan.
All right, Minji Park on the 18th hole, par 4. From the fairway bunker. Oh, and she has decided to take a rather safer route.
Yes, leaving herself about 30 feet there for birdie. I think she can't be too disappointed with that.
And Jojo Kim. You know that Hyun has just an unbelievably beautiful swing, and the tempo, everything that you would ask for, especially when you're trying to teach a youngster.
Oh, that's right. That's an excellent model to try to replicate.
And certainly so. And she's one of the few players that have been able to keep that ball below the hole.
That's right.
So she will have that for birdie to go 4 under for the tournament. And Sunwoo, uncharacteristically pulling that second shot way left on this rather difficult par 4 14th hole. Now she has this for par to remain at 12 under par. 4 shots ahead of 2 players.
And a routine par. Who would have expected less?
And no problem there for Sunwoo Bae to remain at 12 under par.
Still has a little giddy up in her step. Very confident, riding a wave of confidence.
And only player to be in double digit under par. And now, last hole, Hijung Lim.
Incredibly stable lower body. And that acceleration in her hands and in the club head is really impressive.
And Hijung Lim, 6 under par, quietly shooting 6 under par today.
And an excellent result.
And we saw Hyun Ju and Da Bin Ho turning in 6 under par 66 in the early going in the second round action. And very quietly, Hijung Lim has creeped up to another very low score. Young. And you see how far she has hit past Hijung Lim?
Oh, that's at least 50, 60 yards past. Wow.
That is absolutely unbelievable. And I think she's a little bit upset about some of the shot that she may have left behind. All right, Hana Jang. Also has a very powerful swing. Now she decided to go to the fairway wood with her tee shot.
Which is a little surprising. Choosing to stay in the fairway rather than trying to bomb one out there, risk being in the rough. I think certainly from earlier in the round when she was holding her wrist, I think that was one of the reasons why for her not to avoid the rough at all cost.
All right, this is going you. 5 over on the 16th hole, second shot. And that goes way over the green.
Oh, she must have caught a flyer if it flew that far.
So she's in danger of missing the cut to make it into the third round play. Now this is Jung Min Cho on the 18th for birdie to get into the under par category, and comes out a little bit short, but she'll have that for par. And Han Sol-ji, one of the veterans on the KLPGA Tour, 2 over par for the day. Not bad on the 16th hole. And this, again, one of the hardest holes that we're seeing here is the ball tends to really run away from you if you're not able to keep that ball below the hole.
That's right, and also one of the larger greens out here at Lakewood.
All right, Sun Bay on the 15th hole, par 5, another opportunity to notch another birdie.
I really like the way or the consistency of her routine as well. It never seems to change. Always 2 practice swings, steps right in, and rips it.
And she has a rather classical finish with that reverse C finish.
Showing a lot of flexibility, that's right. And smiling.
Well, you should be smiling when you're 7 under for today. And
That's right.
Currently 12 under par and 4 ahead of the 2 players, Jae-young Kim 2 and Dabin Hall.
Need to slow down. Okay, that's all right.
All right, Minji Park will walk away with a par after cleaning up that for a par. And now take a look at this. She is completely facing away from the hole, and that indicates just exactly how much break she has to face.
That's right. It was a pretty severe downhill from back there.
And that distance looks very similar to what Hee Jung Lim was faced with a par putt. So Go-eun Yu will also have that for a par putt. Now, Jojo Kim. Come on, Hyoju, you could make this birdie putt. Has she hit it? And I think she's got it.
Right.
And what a birdie she's got on this last hole and the 18th hole. And she, after coming in with the even par, couldn't buy a putt yesterday, and finally getting that birdie on the 18th hole. And I think we've only seen 2 birdies all day on that 18th hole.
That's right. That's right. It's always good to end up on a birdie.
And Han Sol-ji, good distance control, but still has quite a bit left to save a par on the 16th hole. All right, we're back on the 15th hole, par 5.
Looks like she's got a hybrid out. Just laying up for position for a 3rd shot. Ball above her feet. She's got to worry about pulling it left. Sounded a little heavy. Yeah, that's usually the miss from that type of a lie. It's usually going to be left, but it's better than being right in the water. So all in all, okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you're looking at that huge hazard in front of you. Even the professionals really not wanting to take any chance whatsoever. And it's just Nahe Ko at even par. And I think she has hit a really good putt. just not able to judge the break. And she'll have that for par. So we're seeing a few players that we haven't seen before, but it's good to see some of the more unfamiliar faces. Now, Hyodin Lee.
Yeah, this player is a native of Ulsan down in the south of Korea. Had a stellar junior career, turned pro a few years ago. Good to see her playing well.
And that missed by a few inches, just sliding by the left edge of the hole. And she'll remain at 3 under par for the tournament. All right, Hana Jung on the 18th hole. If there's anyone that we are rooting for, is Hana Jung.
That's right.
To finish with a birdie on the last hole. And from 110 yards distance.
Yeah, she's got to be a little bit disappointed with that.
She'll have a downhill left to right putt for birdie to finish it under par after second round action. Hee Jung Lim quietly rising up the leaderboard at 6 under par after turning in a level par for the first round. And that looks very good. And a good shot there for Hee Jung Lim for another birdie opportunity to go 7 under.
That's right. Really set herself up for that nice shot there.
All right, this is Han So-ji, the veteran. Needs to birdie, make that putt for a par to stay at 2 over, and she has. All right, this is Jeongeun Kim.
From the left rough.
Only 80 yards.
Oh, pulls off a nice one there.
Oh, and that's skill and also experience, which allowed her to control that shot. And Jeongeun Kim, excellent birdie opportunity coming up on the 18th hole. And this is our leader, Sunwoo Bae. Let's see what she can do here. Oh, and a gorgeous shot.
It needs to sit. Okay.
And
yes.
I think it will sit. Put a lot of spin on that coming out of the rough. And that's just skill. Distance control is just excellent. And again, that's within her range of birdie opportunity to go 13 under. And let's go to the 17th hole.
Short par 3. No more than a 9 iron.
A lot of players looking at left side of the pin. And we'll have a rather lengthy uphill birdie putt. Hannah.
Down the hill.
Down the hill. Has she hit it hard enough? So she has got to be very disappointed with the result. This could also be at least a 4 under par. Has she been able to get a little break here and there?
That's right. She certainly left a lot of shots out there.
Han So-ji, after an excellent par putt on the 16th hole. And she's gone way left, the pin position. And that will continue to run away from the hole. All right, Hee Jung Lim looking at an excellent opportunity for birdie to go 7 under and 7 under par for the tournament. Has she done it? And she has.
Certainly has.
7 under for the tournament is 7 under for today, and that will be the lowest score in the clubhouse. And Hee Jung Lim has served notice to the top players, the Sunwoo Bae and Jeongeun Kim. And Go Eun, she has taken a very aggressive line.
Very aggressive indeed. That's certainly paid off, though.
And that's the aggressive line that we saw Jeongeun Kim take, but she lipped out. But speaking of Jeongeun, a birdie opportunity, and would love to walk away with a birdie on the 18th hole. There's some positive thoughts. Oh, and a beautiful stroke, and finally drops in for her.
A well-deserved smile at the end of that putt. That's gonna carry a little momentum into tomorrow.
And despite seeing all the struggles that she had on the course, she quietly turned in a 4 under par. All right, Hana Jang. Boy, she has got to be feeling awfully frustrated after that round, but
yeah, although she's even par, 2 rounds of 72, it certainly to her probably feels like a 5 over round.
That she has. And now we're back to the 16th hole. Minji Kim 3. 1 under par, 16th hole, par 4. Not much there, and she's had an excellent greens and regulation, 73%.
It's a very interesting routine she has. Held back at impact a little bit, but the result's not bad.
All right, runs
Stays
away
up.
from her.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to negotiate that top ridge. And again, we're seeing that pin position is very difficult. It's hard to tell from the television screen how much the ridge that the players have to negotiate with the green a little bit elevated.
That's right. That's right. Lakewood is located at the foothills of these mountains, and it's very difficult to see the actual undulation. It looks very flat on TV, but there is a lot of undulation out there.
As we are closing out of the second round action of the KLPGA Championship here at Lakewood Country Club, we are now seeing some of the players that we rarely see. Hyodin Lee, currently even par. This ball also running away from the pin.
I think that was just a missed number in terms of yardage. I don't think that was the correct number she wanted to hit.
All right, Han Sol-ji for birdie. And she powers that ball past the hole. Now she'll be content with a very delicate par putt coming downhill.
Yeah, that's certainly a tester. 4 feet downhill is never easy.
And with a cut at 4 over par to make it into the third round play, she needs to steady her ship. And this is Sunwoo Bae. What do you see here, Eddie?
Well, I see very, very good numbers there. To be honest, almost 80% greens in regulation with a 1.29 putting average. That's a combination you'd like to see.
Well, the putting average 1.29 is almost out of the world.
Indeed it is.
All right, this is Sunwoo Bae from the 15th hole, par 5. A little bit downhiller.
That's an interesting putt she had there. I think she just didn't. She probably thought the putt was a lot faster than it really was.
I think she may have given a little more respect for that putt than she needed to. And now here go for the par 3, 17th hole.
It's a good stroke.
And that it was.
Just. She kept it above the hole, so that was definitely a good putt.
right, Da-Won Kwon needs the birdie here to go 1 under for the tournament, and
Just left it out the entire way.
yeah, that just didn't seem like she had a good stroke there.
Yeah, I could see the club face was open the entire way.
All right, we're back to 18th hole, and Jung Mi Hwang 8 over, considerably over the cut line for the third round action. But a good result out of that rough.
Yes.
Well, the few players that we have seen coming out of that left side rough to keep that ball within about 20 feet of the pin. Go Eun-yu took a very aggressive line. Has she hit it hard enough? Misses just a bit to the right, and she'll walk away with a par. So unless she holds out from the fairway, she will definitely miss the third round action.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
And we're back to 16th hole, and off the green,
I think that's Hyodin Lee.
Hyodin Lee, who is looking for an opportunity, and this is one of the more difficult putts that you'll be faced with on this hole. And taking a lot of time. Might have to putt up, but it's more of a distance control, isn't it, Eddie?
Oh, absolutely. This is uphill, downhill, then downhill again. It's a roller coaster. So judging speed is going to be very difficult, especially coming from the fringe.
And we haven't seen too many players being able to get that ball within about 5 feet. This is Hyodin Lee for birdie.
It's a big stroke. That was a big swing. And then there it goes downhill from there. If it gets over that hump, but didn't quite make it. So I'm surprised that more players don't actually chip the ball from there to carry it over some of those ridges as opposed to putting through them.
And I think so. And I think the players are definitely a bit apprehensive in taking that wedge. But we saw Minji Cho taking a huge lob wedge swing, able to get that ball closer and save a par on the 14th hole yesterday. Now Sunwoo Bae, this is for par.
Never a doubt.
And such a steady stroke, a firm stroke to remain at 12 under. So she has 16, 17, 18. The last 3 holes.
Well, when her putts are finding the center of the cup every single time, I think the level of confidence she has going into the last 3 holes is going to be high.
Jung Mi Hwang for a birdie. This is more of a moral victory for anything, especially when you're at least 4 shots out of the cut line.
Oh.
And it's still a pretty good stroke there. So she'll walk away with a par, Jung Mi.
And a good experience for the first tournament of 2020.
And it's got to be very difficult for these players, not only not being able to play in a tournament condition and to play in the major champion, to be the first tournament that they ever play.
That's right.
Sunwoo Bae on the 16th hole.
And just rips it.
Had a good shot there, even though she missed it on the left side. Currently leading 4 shots ahead of Jaeyoung Kim 2 and Dabin Ho. Jaeyoung Kim 2, the overnight leader at 5 under, turned in 3 under today. And currently at 8 under par. Dabin Ho also 6 under par today, before Hee Jung Lim pulled out with a 7 under by holding a birdie on the 18th hole. She, at the time, was holding the course best score for the second round. And this is Minji Park.
And splits the fairway right down the middle.
And Minji Park, who has made her debut on the KLPGA Tour since 2016. And this is Jisoo Kim for a birdie. Oh, and that's an opportunity missed. Showing very, very disappointed with that putt.
Yeah, certainly body language speaks volumes.
And let's take a look at the leaderboard again. Sun Bay all alone, 4 shots ahead of him. Pair of players, Da Bin Ho and Jae Kim too. But Hee Jung Lim lurking with Hyun Park at also 7 under. And Hyodin Cho, 6 under par, 7th place. And then we have some of the notable players. Lan Hong, 4 under. Hyun Cho, disappointed with that par 72 today. And we'll be back with the second round action right after these messages. All right, we're back to Lakewood Country Club for the second round action for the 42nd KLPGA Championship. And you're looking at the leader, Sonu Bae's score. And look at this. Unbelievable round she's having, Eddie.
That's right. 7 birdies. Her driving accuracy is good. Greens and regulations are high, and she's got a very low putting average. That's a combination you want.
And with that combination, she has had an unbelievable round and coming up with her second shot out of the rough, but that has not been a problem for her at all today.
Yeah, she took a really hard swing there for the ball being down, settled down in the grass. Let's see where it ends up. I think it's short right.
And that might have found the greenside bunker.
Yes, I think she would prefer to have it in the bunker at this point rather than sitting down in the rough again.
And this is Jeongeun Park, 10 over for the tournament.
All right, having a difficult day today. It looks like she's having the difficulties continuing.
Loses it way out to the right. And Win playing havoc. Back to 18th hole. And Nae Go would love to walk away with a birdie. Second shot, about 156 yards. Taking a very aggressive line there.
And a great, wow.
And just slides by, but still have an excellent chance for a birdie. Quite happy with that result. Now coming out of the rough on the 16, playing alongside with Sonu Bae. And this is Da-Won Kwon.
Yeah, that impact didn't sound too clean. Yeah, I thought that might have been a little short.
So these 3 players in this group having some issues with this 16th hole. We'll go back to the 17th hole par 3 for a tee shot. And this is Hyunji 3 Kim. 1 under. And she's set up on the left side of the tee box here. Ready?
That's an interesting choice. And that's the reason why she attempted to tee off from the left side, is to try to open up the right side a little bit more in terms of shot angle, but just didn't get it quite back there. So we'll have a long putt for birdie.
And where the ball landed on that green for the 17th hole for her, it looks very similar to the shot that Hee Jung Lim had.
That's right.
And this is our leader, Sonu Bae. One of the few times she's been in the bunker.
Fairly simple bunker shot.
Got some green to work with.
Should get it close.
And she might even hold out. And if we remember, Hyun Park also hold out of the bunker on the right side on the 16th hole. And nothing she can't do today. And this is one of the reasons why her putting average has been less than 1.3 per hole.
I think so. She's getting up and down from everywhere. That's right, another 1 putt.
That's a clean score there for her. Seven under for today, 12 under for the tournament, 5 under yesterday. And this is Head on You on the 15th hole.
He's having a pretty good round today, 3 under. I think this might be a little short. Sounded heavy.
Oh, and it comes out awfully short and goes in the bunker in the water hazard. And this might be the first time we've actually seen the third shot go in the hazard from anyone since we've been on the air. Ready?
That's right. Especially on that hole, it's rare to capture that bunker unless you really hit it heavy.
Hyodin Lee, 2 under, currently ranked 27th, tied for 27th. And one One of the few players we've seen wearing the hooded shirt. Oh, it's taking that kind of a tiger line there.
Yeah, she took dead aim, and the result is good.
And smile she should be. Has a good opportunity for a birdie. And Daewon Kwon. And runs it by. It is so difficult to gauge the distance and the speed from the right side of the pin.
Especially coming from the fringe.
All right, head on you. This will be her 5th shot.
And barely clears the hazard.
So she will have to make that putt for a bogey. All right, this is Hyunji Kim 3 for a long birdie chance. Now she'll have that for par.
Yeah, that was a good lag putt up near the cup. Should be able to wrap that up pretty easily.
And the players giving a lot of respect for these short putts, a 3-4 footer for a par. And Daewon Kwon.
Okay. That's a sound you'd like to hear, the ball hitting the bottom of the cup.
And it's one of the few things that you won't hear in some of the golf courses in the States. All right, Yubin Kang on the 17th.
Got to get the right speed here.
It is just so difficult to get the right speed, especially going up the hill with the ridge, but the greens being so fast, you've got to guard yourself for not blowing by the hole. And this is Head On You, who found the water hazard with her 3rd shot. Now this is for bogey.
Would be a great save.
And still not finished as yet. Yeah. Still in a bit difficulty, so she'll need that for double bogey. And we'll drop down to 1 over if she saved that. And Hyodin Lee, who took a dead aim and snicks it in for a birdie on the 17th hole after a disappointing bogey on 16th to back on the 3 under par for the tournament.
Yeah, that was a good putt.
And few birdies that we have seen on the 17th hole, and one of the few players that have taken an aggressive line to the right side of the pin.
I think the big group down there at 3 under, 4 under, they are certainly not out of this tournament. That is, of course, Sonu Bae doesn't continue her streak of fire.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Sonu Bae, there's not a thing she can't do. And this is one of the reasons why these players have taken so much time for those 4 or 5 footers. And Lakewood Country Club showing some teeth on the greens. And it's a double bogey putt.
Okay. Right.
All right. Although she lost 2 strokes there.
That's good to see her smiling, though, keeping good spirits. It's all right. Put it behind her, move on to the next hole.
And Sonu Bae on the 12th hole in the par 3 now. And if you look at her play, boy, she really got hot out of the gate. And already on the 6th hole, she was already 3 under par for the day. And right there puts it about 5 feet for a birdie putt. Oh, what a beautiful stroke and great touch.
Right, being 4 under after 6, that's amazing.
And on the 7th hole, Sonu and look at here. and hits the pin and comes out. And almost hold out for an eagle to go 11 under, but we'll settle for a birdie, thank you. And on the 11th hole, another par 5. And this is a par putt or birdie putt. Really wasn't that easy, but confidently drops it in for a birdie.
Yeah, especially in the rain like that.
And this is definitely a birdie putt that bounced a few times, then drops it in with that little body English. And that's where she has remained at 12 under for this 42nd KLPGA Championship second round action. And another look at her beautiful score card.
Yes, like I said before, I mean, this type of play and this type of confidence building into the weekend is certainly going to help her.
And let's not wait any longer. Take a look at what she'll do on this par 3 17th hole.
She's taking a very aggressive line.
And that she has drawn the ball, and oh!
What a great shot.
Gone
What a great
right
shot.
by, and now she will have another golden opportunity for a birdie to go 13 under.
The way she's putting right now, that's very high probability of a one putt.
All right, Da-Won Kwon. Had a little bit of issue on the 16th hole, but she has taken a 7-iron here, Eddie.
Wow.
A lot of players that we have seen, almost all the players, have either been 9 or 8-iron, but might be the first time we've actually seen anyone hit a 7-iron. Select to go with a 7-iron here.
It looks good. The line looks good. Wow. Excellent shot.
Now, how do you explain that? Taking a 7-iron, might have taken something off of that?
It could have been, but it also could have been the just general distance. Players are, each and every player is different, so.
All right, Minji Kim 5. 5 over and going over that ridge. Comes up just a bit short, and that will be for her par putt. And playing alongside with Da-Won Kwon and Sun-woo Bae, the leader, Minji Park, having a rather dismal day at 10 over par so far.
This looks like it's going to fall down to the front of the green. Yeah, well.
And Sun-woo walking over, and that's exactly where she landed, and the ball rolled by about 10 or 12 feet, but still have a good chance for a birdie to go 13 under.
I think she's going to have a very good look at birdie.
Back to par 5, 15th hole. Hijung Lim, 4 over. Needs a birdie here to get within the cut line. 4 over par.
Yeah, this is a big putt. Needs to go in. Left it a little short.
So these players trying to maintain composure and knows that they need a couple birdies to get a little more in the comfort zone.
Yes, when you're on the line like that, it's hard not to think about that, especially when there's leaderboards out there and you know where the cut line is.
All right, this is Hyodin Lee on the 18th hole. Elected to go with a fairway wood for a tee shot.
All right, finds the left side of the fairway. Should have a relatively easy second shot.
And Hyodin pretty happy with that result. And as we wind down the second round action of the 42nd KLPGA Championship, we're also looking ahead of the third round action of the 42nd KLPGA Championship, and we'll definitely have Sun-woo Bae and Dabin Ho, as well as Jae Kim, too, in the final group. And
that is going to be an exciting group to watch.
And a moving day it will be. And tomorrow, the Lakewood Country Club. It all depends on how the pin position is going to be tomorrow. And today, with the steady rain and the pins relatively easy compared to yesterday, the players were able to drop a lot of birdie putts, but we'll see how it'll be set up tomorrow.
And I think the weather is going to play a factor. Whether the wind picks up in the morning or not will definitely be a factor in how quickly the course dries out. And if we start to see speeds that we did the first round, it will be a moving day, albeit the other direction.
And look at some of those scores. Currently, the best round of the day is this lady right here, Sun Woo Bae, at 7 under par, and still a couple more holes to play. But Hee Jung Lim, who quietly turned in 7 under par, sitting at 5 shots out of the lead.
Okay, downhill left to righter.
And this is for birdie to go 13 under par for Sun Woo Bae.
It's a good putt.
That's a good putt, and it's a good putt.
Oh my, that is amazing. She even added the body language there. Wow. You know, the wind is actually blowing in that direction. If I was her, I would have waited at least a few seconds more to see.
Well, I'm just absolutely speechless that everywhere she is threatened to hole out. And
exactly.
You don't get too many days like that, but she has taken full advantage. And just a tad bit short of that putt. May have needed a little more strength.
Probably just one more revolution, that ball was in.
All right, out of the rough, Minji Kim 3.
Needs to get up.
And needs to get up. And
it did.
It did, but it rolls all the way. And I think the bunker rake actually helped her and saved her from rolling into the backside of the green bunker.
That's right.
And this is Hyodin Lee.
Yeah, she's practicing getting the club head into the slot on the way up. Looking like she's taking dead aim at the pin.
Currently tied for 17th at 3 under for the tournament. And really trying to put a lot of spin and has done a modest good job.
Yeah, it kind of leaked out to the right on her.
And from the middle of the fairway, we have Yulbin Kang, 6 over. So she needs to hole out here.
Yeah, she needs a miracle.
She needs a miracle, something to happen here.
Yeah, something good to happen.
Oh, not a bad shot there. Coming down about 3 or 4 feet to the left side, and she needs to make a birdie putt and see what will happen with other players.
Yeah, it seems like 4 is going to be the number. I can't imagine with the conditions today and the number of scores, the number of players who shot in the 60s that the cut line will move up. I think it'll move down if anything else.
With the condition of the golf course getting drier and now we're seeing the scores on the 18th hole, it has yielded only 15 birdies. And when you consider that we have 150 players entered in the field, that is less than 10% there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I thought 13 or 14 would be the hardest holes.
And Sun Woo Bae, our leader, has now moved on to the 18th hole. And boy, she would love to have gotten that birdie to drop on the 17th hole, par 3. Took a very aggressive line, Eddie.
That's right, she did indeed. I really like that play, especially when she's playing confident, when she is confident. I like to see those aggressive lines and those aggressive shots. That's what makes golf exciting.
And aggressive she has been. And when you have that putting stroke and a short game going, it makes that game that much easier.
It certainly does.
And this might be one of the few times we've actually seen Sunu teeing off behind her partner. And Dawon Kwon with a birdie on the 17th hole. And she's teeing off with a fairway wood.
Okay, just catches the left side there. I think she's in good shape.
All right, Sunu Bae, currently 12 under, 4 shots ahead of the pair of players. Just going with the driver, staying aggressive.
Yeah. She knows that it's okay. She can miss the fairway to the left. The rough isn't too deep. I think it's part of her strategy.
Well, Lakewood Country Club is a course that really is not going to give you a whole lot of trouble if you go in the rough side, but it's where the green comes into a very difficult.
Oh, yes, I agree.
All right, Jeongeun Park just got to finish strong. Love to walk away with a birdie on the 18th hole after a very difficult day today. And
A little fortunate there with a good kick off the tree, the root of the tree. But looks like she's having some swing issues, some mechanical issues that she's just not able to fight through today. Well, she'll certainly be hitting the driving range after this round.
well, I certainly hope that she'll be able to come back strong. And now we'll go to the 18th hole, back part of the green. That she was fortunate to hit the rake, which saved her from going into the greenside bunker, and she'll have that for a par to remain at 1 under par for the tournament. Second round action for the 42nd KLPGA Championship continuing on here at the Lakewood Country Club. And we'll be back after this messages. All right, we're back on the 17th hole, par 3. Coming down the final stretch of the second round action of the 42nd KLPGA Championship. And you see the players moving around looking for that spot to tee off, Eddie.
Yes.
And some of the players have gone from the far right-hand side to the left side.
Yeah, it all has to do with the shot angles. And Hyun is definitely trying to widen that angle to the right side of the green to try to keep it up on the right tier. And that she's done. It needs to stay.
Oh,
Okay.
and that's a good shot there. And I think she found the sort of the promised land on that tee box.
I think she did indeed. And she's, after having a double bogey on the previous hole, I think this birdie attempt will be very good for her confidence.
Well, I really like the fact that she was able to come back and hit a very solid shot on the 17th hole, especially getting that unforced error on the third shot on the 15th hole, the par 5.
Right.
There's no doubt that she was thinking birdie before she even shot that hit that third shot on the 15th hole.
Indeed.
Now this is Hyodin Lee, 3 under. And needs to stay at 3 under par.
Okay, solid stroke.
Solid stroke.
Center of the
and
cup.
Good result. So had a tough day today, but kept it steady. And we'll move into the third round, the moving day, within top 20. And we're back to the fairway for the 18th hole. Second shot for the final group. And this is Dawan Kwan, who teed off with a fairway wood from the tee. Look at that stat. Greens in regulation, 82%.
That's pretty good.
And I think she just hit another green there.
Great
and not only
shot.
that, what an excellent result there.
Oh, great shot. On the 18th green to have less than 10 feet for birdie is a good fairway shot.
All right, here's our leader, Sanu Bay. I'm just really anxious to see what she's going to be able to do here with her second shot.
From the light rough. Taking it high for a soft landing. Wow, looks like it landed just past the hole, but yeah, just ran out a little bit further than she thought.
Got to be a little bit disappointed with that result. But you know, whenever she's on the green, anything within 40 feet.
Anything is game, that's right.
She is deadly with that short stick. Sanu Bay, who's won 2 times on the KLPGA Tour. Kind of unexpected for her to win that many tournaments that quickly. And
Okay.
good result there, not bad. All right, Sanu Bay walking confidently toward the 18th green. And we'll have another look at some of her highlights, and we'll go back to the 6th hole.
Yeah, I think this is where the run really just started picking up pace.
And the distance control and the direction was just absolutely beautiful. But more so, her putting stroke is just dead on. And this is Jeongeun Kim too, the overnight leader, co-leader with Sanu Bay. And at the time, she was 5 under, but started to roll off some birdies.
Yeah, another hot hand today. Player with a hot hand. She had strings of birdies.
And really had a boring round up until the 10th hole and got hot on the 11th hole with a birdie and 2 more birdies to finish at 3 under par for the day to 8 under for the tournament. And Sanu Bay threatened to hole it out from right here on the 7th hole and had a tap-in birdie on the 7th hole, par 5.
Yeah, great approach shot there. I bet you if the pin wasn't in the hole, that ball would have went in.
And 12th hole, this really surprised a lot of people, including myself. Jojo Kim from long distance and drops it in the heart of the hole. And the 16th hole.
Yeah, another bomb from way downtown. Just trickles in the left side.
All right, and that was her final birdie for the day, but Hee Jung Lim, you have got to give her a lot of credit. At this time, on the 13th hole, she was only 3 under par, but started to drop some birdie putts here.
An unbelievable back nine for her, indeed. That was just a great series of birdies on the hardest holes on the course.
And Hyun Park had no problem, thank you. And a birdie shot out of the greenside bunker, and that got her going. Back-to-back birdie. And Sonu Bae on the 12th hole. I don't think too many people thought that she was going to be able to putt this hole, ball in the hole.
Yeah, great birdie indeed it was.
All right, Hyun Park. Another birdie opportunity, and look at here, look out. And drops another one. So quietly, puts up 68 after a 69 3 under yesterday, and we're seeing some great shot from Hijung Lim and other players. What a great distance control. Get that ball up on the top of the ridge.
Yeah, set herself for this great birdie putt.
And Hijung Lim, 6 under par, and she was not done. And continued with another birdie here on the 18th hole.
One of the rare birdies on the 18th, to be exact.
87 under for the day is one of the top scores that we're seeing today. And Sonu, this might have been the first time we've actually seen her hit anything out of the bunker. And she's been threatened to hole out from anywhere she's. And 17th hole. Kind of reminded what Hannah Jung had for a birdie putt. Look at here.
She gave it that little extra body English, but to no avail. It just didn't fall.
Beautiful Lakewood Country Club, seeing the last few groups finishing out the second round action of the 42nd KLPGA Championship. And this will be the birdie putt for Sonu Bae to go 13 under to lead by 5.
And a good effort. Good effort, good touch.
And so many players have missed to the right side of the hole, but the distance control and speed has just been unbelievable. And I think she maybe ended up with 23 putts, if I'm not mistaken, Eddie.
That is an amazing statistic. Anytime you have near 20 putts or in the low 20s, you know you've got a good round going.
And there's your leader, Sonu Bae, finished with a 65, 7 under, 5 under yesterday and 12 under. And what a round she had. And she'll be leading Jojo Kim too, who finished at 8 under for the tournament. And Dabin Ho, who turned in 66 early in the morning. Oh, this is a pretty good looking birdie putt here.
That was a great effort.
And I think for a player like her, playing alongside with Sonu Bae, who just couldn't do anything wrong, may have learned something from just playing alongside with a top player like Sonu.
That's a good experience that you have to take away from a day like today. You can't dwell on the score. You will have other opportunities, so it's important to keep her head up.
And this is the birdie opportunity for Dawan Kwan. And may have taken a little bit too much break on that putt.
Yes.
but good result. 1 under par, not bad.
Yeah, safely in at 1 under. I think she's going to be having a good time this weekend.
All right, and she'll move on to the third round play and finishing up. And once again, we see the leaders, Sun Woo Bae, 12 under, 7 under par for today, and Da Bin Ho, 66. And the rain coming down here at the Lakewood Country Club. And as we get ready for the third round action, once again, we'll have a final look at the leaderboard. Sun Woo Bae on top of the leaderboard. And we're moving on to the third round action, and hope you can join us tomorrow as we play the KLPGA Championship here at Lakewood Country Club. We thank you so much for joining us today, along with Eddie Bae. This is Mike Kim, wishing you so long, everybody.